Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name's Tanya, and several of my videos I've gone over the recipe for making homemade sausage from scratch. And what I mean when I say from scratch is taking bulk ground pork, adding your spices to it, and then doing whatever you need to do with it, whether it be cooking it like ground beef, just crumbled up, or make it in patties. And I've often referred to the way I make my sausage patties, store them in the freezer in between pieces of parchment. But I kind of want to give a comprehensive explanation of that. So just a quick video to show you exactly what I'm talking about when I make reference to that. So let's go. So we have our spices in the bowl, and look in the description of this video and you will see the full recipe for the spices that we need in this. This is our just bulk pork sausage. Mix this around. Sometimes I add water to it ahead of time to dissolve that salt, but I didn't today. It still works exactly the same. Okay, so that's pretty well mixed up right there. Set this aside. I'm going to take parchment. We're going to cut these in squares. Doesn't have to be super accurate, but you just want it big enough to where it's going to cover the entire sausage patty once you smush it down. We'll probably need a few more than this, but I'll use this for right now just to give you an idea of what we're doing. For this, you'll need a clear bowl with a flat bottom, nothing concave. It's not detrimental, it just makes it easier. And I use a cookie dough scoop, and I would say this holds probably 2 tablespoons. So 1/8 of a cup. So we start out with a piece of our parchment. Fill this level. Cover it with another one, get it centered. You're going to push it down. And the reason I'm using a clear bowl is because I like to know about how big it's getting. If it gets too big, I know I've gone too flat. And this is what it looks like. Now once these freeze, and I'll show you that whole process later on, but once those freeze, the parchment is super easy to take off there. You can reuse the parchment as long as you store the parchment in a bag in the freezer. But you don't want to store it on a shelf, and then, you know, that would be disgusting to have raw meat on something that you're storing in the freezer or on a shelf. But if you store it in the freezer and reuse them just for this purpose only, then I find that to be perfectly okay. I've done that before. Okay, and you see that our patties come out pretty round, and that's about as thin as I like mine. They cook really, really fast in a skillet. All right, so we'll be back in just a bit, and I'll show you what these look like to go in the freezer and then when they come out. Okay, so this is our container of our sausage patties. They're each about that thick, and there are 23 in this. Now I had 1.5 pounds of ground bulk pork sausage, so you can say maybe, I don't know, 16 per pound is what this makes. So you're gonna need 16 times 2, so you're gonna need 32 little squares of parchment for each of these. So with 23, we cut out 46 little squares. Some of them I just cut double the size and just folded it over. So anyway, not a big deal. It's not rocket science on that. So we're gonna put these in the freezer. When they come out, I'll show you what they look like, and then we'll put them in a bag, and I'll show you how I store them in the freezer for easy access. So we'll be back. Okay, we're back. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I did that sausage this morning, so it's not quite frozen. It still has a little bit of give to it, but it's frozen enough for us to put in the bag. So I just want to show you what I do. I have my Ziploc bag. This is kind of a weird shape, and I'm not sure where I got this. Don't have a clue. I've never bought short ones before, and it has this little pleated bottom in it, which is kind of fun if you can make it stand up. I don't usually get it to stand up. So we just peel our parchment off. This is one of those pieces I cut twice the size. And like I said, if you want to save those, then you can just use them over and over. Just make sure you put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. So you're just going to stack your sausage up in there and store it in the freezer. And on one of those mornings that you think, oh, good grief, I have time to do very little, heat your skillet up, throw a piece or two of sausage in there, and while you're doing something else, your sausage is cooking. It turns out perfectly every time. It's really good. I hope you enjoy the recipe. I hope you enjoyed this hack about making them ahead of time, making them into patties. Even young kids can come in and do this. I mean, if you trust them with the skillet, trust them with cooking the sausage at this point. So thank you again for joining us. We look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. See ya.